welcome to All Things Career Services with TNT. I'm Dr. Tracy Spots.
And I'm Tatiana Goss.
We are so pumped to have you listening today. We have my dear friend Nathan Smith from the Hub here at BCTC, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about student engagement. How are you, Nate?
I'm great. How's it going, Tracy?
Oh, fabulous. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. So we just have a couple of questions that we want to ask you because we want to get the thought process that students need to be engaged in campus activities. And we figured you're the man with the plan. So you ready to get started?
Let's go for it.
All right, Nate. So can you talk about your role as the Associate Dean of Student Success and how it relates to student engagement?
Sure. Yeah. So as Tracy said, I'm the Associate Dean of Student Success over the Student Success Hub at BCTC. And we do all things engagement. We do events. We do student organizations. We do the video game lounge. We do intramural sports. We do leadership opportunities, leadership conferences. So we just do all sorts of activities, try to have a wide range of things that students can get involved in. So we try to offer something that kind of appeals to everybody. So in my role, I directly oversee those things. I have staff under me who work in different areas who handles those different types of opportunities for students.
So can you tell us a couple of the student organizations you have?
Sure. So we have intramural sports, which is great. We have soccer, volleyball, football. We have Saga, which is our Sexuality and Gender Alliance, was a really great student org. We have the Computer Club for those who are interested in technology. We have PTK, which is our National Honor Society for students who are doing really well in their courses. There are GPA requirements for that, but that's a great organization. We have some that are specific to majors. So if you're going to nursing, there's a student org for nurses. There's one for dental hygiene students. So those are just a few, but we have quite a few others as well.
So there's something for everybody is what you're saying.
I think so. And if we don't have what you want, let us know. We always have students reaching out, wanting to make new organizations. I had a student call me the other day who wants to start a Buddhist organization. I have a student who wants to start a theater club. So there's always people out there looking to try new stuff. So if we don't have what you want, let us know.
Awesome.
Perfect. Do you believe student engagement is critical for a successful college experience?
I do, and that's just not me saying that because it's my job. But all of the research backs that up. That students who are engaged on campus, who participate in events, participate in organizations, that those students just are more successful. And part of that is it helps create. I think it does that for a few reasons. One is it creates motivation because when you get involved in stuff and you make friends, you want to be able to continue to participate in those things. And to do that, you have to be a good student. Otherwise, you get kicked out. So you have to maintain that higher GPA. You have to make sure you're passing your classes so that you remain eligible to participate in those. So I think it's a strong motivator to keep students doing well because they want to participate in things with their friends. But also, participating in stuff, you make connections with other students. So you may find a study buddy. You make connections with faculty and staff. So, you get to know people who then, if you do have issues, you've developed these relationships where you can then go ask for help. You feel more comfortable doing that. It's like, hey, I know Nate from Computer Club. I'm going to go talk to him. I'm having this problem. Whereas if you didn't have those connections, you might feel embarrassed or less likely to ask for help. So those are some of the reasons I think that it really can impact your success.
It's funny because I did my dissertation on commuter student engagement. And my favorite philosopher, or whoever you want to call it, Vincent Tinto, he's the one who said, if a student is successful outside of the classroom, they will sure as heck be successful inside the classroom. So I'm glad you brought that up.
What positive impacts have you observed in students who participate in those extracurricular activities?
Yeah, so I think I was telling you a few minutes ago before we started about we just had a student, so we just opened a new gaming lounge, and the student came up there to check it out. And she was saying how she didn't have any friends on campus yet, and she is really into gaming. So this is a place where she can come and make friends. And I think we have lots of students coming in there, so I think she'll very quickly make some friends. So there's one. We did an event last semester where a student came and participated. It was her first event. And then I heard her on the phone afterwards, after the event, talking to her boyfriend, saying, "Hey, I just did this event and I made my first friend on campus." So So those are a couple. It is a great place for people to meet people with like interests. But also, like I mentioned earlier, I've gotten to know some students through various organizations and sports and whatnot, and then having some of them come to me for help, or I've been able to refer them to other opportunities, or some of them I've hired as work study students. So I think you can't underestimate the importance those connections can. You never know what benefit a connection might bring you. I was involved when I was a college student, and long after college, some of those connections I made continue to provide me opportunities to that I wouldn't have had if I had not been involved on campus. So.
Very cool.
How can students be encouraged to get involved on campus, especially those who are kind of hesitant to be involved?
Yeah, it's tough, at a community college because, it's not like a 4-year where students live on campus. So they're here all the time. It's a little bit easier to get them engaged. Our students, frequently are very busy and have other things going on. So, we try to have, we have events at every campus so that students don't have to travel to get involved. We have 7 campuses. That's a lot of places to have events, but we make that effort to do that. So they all have opportunities. We vary the times, we vary the types of events. So we try to appeal to everybody. We work hard to promote things. We'll go do class presentations. But really, it's really the students who are best at promoting stuff. We really need them to help with that. Like the video game lounge, I'll use that as an example. It just opened last week. We haven't promoted it yet at all, but we've already had a lot of students come up, and a lot of them are coming up because their friends are telling them. So really, when students get involved in stuff and get excited and share that excitement with their friends, that's really the best recruitment for us, is because then they want to, get involved with their friends and do stuff together. So.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, but I want you to go a little bit more in detail. So how do extracurricular activities cater to different student interests and backgrounds?
Sure. So, we take student feedback into what we offer. Most of our student orgs are, more the ideas of students. We have some that have been started by faculty and staff, but most of our student orgs are because a student, wanted it. And we have quite a few different student orgs. We really encourage students, if we don't have what you want, if you want a Spanish club, let us know. We support students, and we really try to help them in getting new organizations that match, their interests, their backgrounds, what they want to get into. We have lots of faculty and staff that are interested in supporting student orgs, who are happy to work with students on new clubs. We try to provide a variety, but then just listening to the students and what they want and trying to fulfill that need. Like, again, I keep talking about the gaming lounge, but that's something a lot of students are interested in. Not just video games, but tabletop RPGs are really popular. So that's something that students have been asking for a while. So we're finally going to start doing that. So it's really about us listening to the students and trying to, provide what they're telling us that they want.
So you mentioned how hesitant students can be encouraged. So what are some common barriers that students may face? And then what resources or support systems does BCTC offer to help students overcome those barriers?
For engagement specifically, definitely one of the barriers is we have a lot of online students. And we want to try to engage them as well. And that's a little bit harder. And that's an area where I think we could definitely improve, because we do have a large population of students who are fully online. So trying to think of ideas of ways we can support them, provide online opportunities, online organizations, online events for them. So that's something we're working on. But other barriers are just, a lot of our students, again, have a lot going on. They have a lot going on. A lot of them are parents, or they have jobs, or they take care of family members, or they're going to work or going to school full time, so they don't have a lot of free time. So we try to provide events at different times throughout the day to try to give them a lot of different opportunities. The student orgs, frequently they all have evening events, evening meetings, so that they're taking place outside of, class times. So yeah, time is definitely a big one, just because, and our students don't, stay on campus a lot. So, we have these events where we're asking the student to come back on campus after they've already left. So that can be a struggle for some students who maybe don't have transportation. So we try to think about all that and figure out ways to help them, but they can always reach out to the hub, if there's something they want to participate in and they're not sure how, or it doesn't, the options available don't work for them. They can definitely reach out to our department. And, maybe that specific thing they're interested in, there may not be a way to fix it so they can participate, but we can help them find other ways to get involved in other things maybe. But we'll definitely do all we can to help students, get engaged and support them in that. So.
Awesome. What advice would you give to students looking to boost their college experience through extracurricular involvement?
Do it. I mean, a lot of students just don't really get involved. I would say the majority don't really get involved in that much. So definitely take the chance. Again, I did it and it really benefited me professionally. Again, you may not think participating in a club or an honors program is going to help you that much. And it may or may not, it's not a guarantee that's going to benefit you, but, you also get out of it what you put into it. If you sign up for a bunch of clubs, but then never go to the meetings, never try to get to know anybody, then you're really not going to probably benefit as much. But if you go to the meetings, get involved, run for office or, volunteer to help out with projects, get to know the members, get to know the faculty, staff, advisors, then those connections can, you never know when a connection is going to come in handy in the future. I've worked with several students who have helped, get jobs or scholarships. Frequently look at your college involvement. So, if you're transferring on, that's something UK, EKU, Western, wherever you go, they're going to look and see where you're involved on campus. And, if you are, you're more likely to, get more money from them because that's important to them. And I've forgotten the question, so if you could repeat it.
Yeah, what advice would you give to students looking to boost their college experience?
So yeah, just participate. But again, you got to balance it because, I've also known students who commit too much. They're in like 15 clubs and they're officers in 3 clubs and they volunteer at the Humane Society and they're an intern at the state capitol. It doesn't do you good to be super involved if you then fail all your classes because you don't have enough time to study. So it's definitely a balancing act. So definitely get involved, find stuff that interests you, that you're going to be passionate about, and that you're going to want to be involved in. But, don't overcommit yourself either. Make sure, first and foremost, you're here to get your degree. So just make sure you're balancing that carefully so that you're getting involved, but also leaving, time for your studies and work and other responsibilities.
Are there any last tidbits of information or any wisdom that you want to share with students who are looking to get involved or who may be involved but want to do other things? What is your last bit of this is the Nate-ism of extracurricular activities?
Well, I don't know that I'm wise enough to have any isms named after me. But I would say definitely ask questions. I mean, we promote student orgs and activities and events. But, a lot of students don't see that just because, they don't always check their email, but if you want to get involved and you're not sure what your opportunities are, just ask. There's plenty of people here at the college who are happy to tell you about all the ways you can get involved. So don't be afraid to ask. And again, if you don't see what you're interested in, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just, it may be promoted somewhere where you're not looking or, or more likely, we may not have it, but there are probably plenty of other students who are interested in that. And we just need one person to step up and say, hey, I want to do this. And then, we'll help you find other students. We'll help you find advisors. So if you want to start, an archery club, I'm sure there are other students who are interested in archery. So let us know what you're interested in and we can help with that. But yeah, the main thing is if you have questions or, talk to the hub, talk to your advisor, see what's available. Or if you come across something like, hey, that might be interesting, but you're not sure exactly what it is or, what's involved, again, reach out to us and we're happy to provide more information. So yeah, I would just say, just ask questions and then follow through. It's we get a lot of students who say they want to be involved, but then they don't follow through. I mean, it takes a commitment. You got to, if you want to get something out of it, you've got to show up for this stuff. You may have to, if it means you got to drive back to campus, then you got to drive back to campus, but you got to, once students take the time to do it, I think they see the value in it, but you got to take that first step to actually go to the first meeting and, and put some effort into it if you really want to get something out of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you and your words of wisdom. I think you're very wise.
Well,
so I think that what you have said will definitely help our students get more engaged in campus activities. So thank you so much for your time, Nate.
No problem. Thank you.